Well, gas prices surging in a lot of key battleground states, up, for example, about 16% in Florida from a year ago, 15.5% in Virginia, and up more than 14% in New Hampshire. You know what all these states have in common? They're all states that Barack Obama won 4 years ago. Pat Cadell says, well, he's in a heap of political trouble today. Pat, what do you make of this?
Well, you know, in everyone's sunshine, some rain must fall, and President Obama's had it pretty easy going for the last few months with, you know, he's been able to mount his own campaign with almost no opposition, effective opposition from Republicans in Congress, and the self-destruction he's enjoying of the Republican candidates. However, this is the problem I said to you at the beginning of the year. What about the unknown events of Europe and Iran, and as gasoline affects this, this is, you know, this becomes a really serious matter. And I think the president's got a real problem. His explanation yesterday, I thought, was pretty lame, and I don't think that works very well. But it only works well if the Republicans continue not to have a narrative.
You know, it's interesting, Pat, and you're way up on this political stuff, and you have a better memory than I. But one of the things that fascinated me is when I heard the president talk about how Republicans are using the gas situation to their political benefit. I seem to remember a certain candidate doing the same thing. I want you to listen to this.
Since the gas lines of the 70s, Democrats and Republicans have talked about energy independence, but nothing's changed.
Barack Obama thinks high gas prices deserve serious answers and a serious plan.
Big Oil's filling John McCain's campaign with $2 million in contributions. McCain wants to give them another $4 billion in tax breaks. After one president in the pocket of Big Oil, we can't afford another.
Does this come back to bite him?
Yeah, I think, well, if it's effectively mounted against him, look, he has, if oil companies were the Republicans' problem in 2008, this wasted money, this green energy, this report today, the Wall Street Journal, the 300 windmill jobs, that wind farm jobs, which I worked at, worked out to $4 billion. I think it's about a little less than $14.5 billion, $1 million a job. Heck, you could give people a check for $1 million and we'd all been better off. This is, I said to you last week, the problem the president has is between promise and performance, and his blaming the other side. Again, the Republicans don't seem to manage to mount that narrative. And, you know, I use the example the way Donald Trump has. My gosh, you get high gas prices because you're not drilling, you're not producing energy you're supposed to. You've got the scandals on the other. What you're doing is promoting cronies at the rate of, you know, if I give you $300,000 bundled for you, I get $10 billion in return, and then the problem in the crisis with Iran, letting that thing build to the crisis it is. There is a whole picture here, but so far the Republican candidates can't get beyond, oh my God, gas is going up.
Well, you're right about this. So
they do not pin him down.
All right, I'm sorry, but we were showing these battleground states where you've seen a big pickup in gas prices. A lot of them are electorally rich states, many of them that the president won, Wisconsin, and of course we were looking at Florida and Virginia, Pennsylvania. Now, if that is the case, what matters more, jobs or gas? What will be a decider then?
Well, they're related, because what will happen, this is the question, when gas hits, you know, it was $4.11 when it peaked in 2008. And we know what it did to people's perception about the economy, the Bush administration, how it hurt the campaign. If it goes up to $4 and $5, this is a very weak recovery. All you need is a little bit of, you top this with Europe, all you need is a little bit of glitch in unemployment. They both matter, but it's costing people real money right now. They're paying far more money for gasoline the last 2 months of increase than anything they're getting from the payroll, you know, this payroll tax cut. This is felt everywhere. It's felt in food. It's up and down the line. And the question is the president going to escape blame? And a lot depends on Republicans. Voters in 2008 decided the Republicans, Bush was president, it was his fault, therefore it was McCain's fault. Obama is the president, and he's running. So if it's really bad, it will hurt him. The question is, can the Republicans overcome their own problems?
All right, good stuff.
These states, though, are bad.
Yeah. Thank you, Patrick.
Florida's bad.
Always good seeing you. Pat